Hey guys, we're talking about the fifth and last Tom Ford quad. Today we're going to be talking about the Arabesque Quad. This is the last one I'll be talking about in regards to his 5 new releases. So if you guys are not aware, Tom Ford has just released 5 new eyeshadow quads. I've done a video on each one. I will leave a link to the playlist for all of these videos down below in my description box if you're interested in maybe just checking out one and not the others. That is down there for you. So let's take a close look at this Arabesque Quad. This is the one quad that does not have any matte shades in it. And we've got 2 satins and 2 toppers. And here are some swatches of those 4 colors. So I've got the cream satin, then I've got the gold topper, the red topper, and then the deeper brown satin shade. So if this is the first video of the 5 that you're watching, or the first video you're watching of mine, hello, welcome. But I did just want to mention that Tom Ford has released these 5 new quads, and they are of a new formula. With the 4 previous quads, I have not really experienced much of a difference in terms of performance and blendability and pigmentation, but there is definitely a feeling difference, I feel like, with the formulas. Like when I finger swatch them, I feel like is when I feel the biggest difference between the older formula and this formula. I've been having great luck with the quads. All 4 of them I thought performed really nicely. I didn't have any problems, with longevity or anything like that. I'm really, really enjoying them. This quad, I have to tell you, is the most... I can't seem to get a grip on my feelings per se. I feel like when I first saw this quad, I was like, oh, okay, this is like the party palette in terms of the other 4 that were released. The other 4, very basic, a lot of mattes in there. We have the Mink Mirage, which is like straight laced, the basic kind of all matte quad. And then we have Noir Fumé, which is a little bit smokier, a little bit more sultry. De la Creme, it's a great basic, but it has like a little bit of a warm lean to it. The Sous le Sable, same thing, very basic, but it has like kind of that pinky, mauvey, peachy undertone. So I feel like they came out with all these basic palettes that could address like different tastes and different skin tones and things like that. This is what I thought immediately, oh, maybe this is a good kind of like add-on palette to those 4. Those are so basic, and then maybe you could grab this to add a little bit of sparkle. But when I swatched them, I was like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. And when I sat down and tried to figure out like how I was going to use this, I kind of started swatching them on my hand and kind of trying to figure out how I liked them best. So I did these hand swatches. So this is basically 2 of the cream swatches, but I put the red topper on top of the cream here, and then the gold topper on top of the cream here. I really, really enjoy the red on top of the cream. I think it makes it like a little peachier. It just makes it look really fresh and beautiful. The gold, I feel like it just kind of meshes with the cream, and it doesn't really make either the gold or the cream kind of stand out in any special way. So I feel like the cream kind of eats up the gold here. And then here I swatched the dark brown satin shade, and then I put the red on top and then the gold topper on top here. I love this. I don't like this. I feel like, same as this, I feel like the brown and the red just kind of like eat each other up. And then this one, I feel like the brown really makes the gold shine. So then I thought, oh, this is kind of pretty cool. Like we have like 2 duos basically, and it kind of reminded me of the Tom Ford duos, where they have the moussey shadow and then they have the topper in the lid. Kind of reminded me of that. Like, oh, you put a base down and then you put a topper on top. You put a base down and you put a topper on top. And I thought, oh, that's kind of genius, because I do think that these quads are for people who just don't have a lot of time, who want to look polished, but they don't want to put that much effort or that much time into it, or they just simply don't have the time or the effort to put into it. This is great for like a quick evening look. Like I personally love this idea. I can put this down, put this on top, and then I have this really pretty kind of like glittery look, nothing too over the top, not something too ostentatious, not anything too crazy. Or this one, if I'm feeling like a little bit more warm toned, I started to then think, oh, this is kind of brilliant. And so I did this demo, which you'll see at the end of this video, and I wanted to kind of demo all 4 of these shades. So I kind of split my lid in half. I did the cream and red combo on the inner corner, and then I did the brown gold combo on the outer corner. And while I still feel like it is great for just like the everyday person who wants to do a little bit of something, I wish that these toppers were a little bit more. We're just a little bit more shiny, a little bit more foiled looking. For me, they're just a little bit disappointing. If you want something really subtle, but just with a hint of glitter, you may love this. But if you want something that like is going to get you kind of out of your comfort zone, if you want something that's really going to look like sparkle, like jewels on your eyelids, I don't think you're going to get it from this. And so, yeah, like my feelings about this quad, it just kind of keeps like going back and forth. But I will be doing like a wrap up video. Many of you have asked me to do like one video just kind of talking about all 5 quads and comparing them and kind of ranking them or whatever. I'm pretty sure this one is going to come in at the bottom, just so you guys know. I just feel like it falls short in terms of kind of like having like a glittery kind of quad. Especially with this shade, I really was hoping for something like, I don't know, like jewels, you know, like real kind of like sparkles on the lid. And I get it a little bit, but just not enough. So I only found one quad, or could only really think of one quad that is close to this Arabesque quad, and that is Leopard Sun. So here's Leopard Sun, and here is Arabesque. And Leopard Sun, I feel like, is just much more vibrant, much deeper in tone, much more like medium to deeper skin tone friendly, where this one almost looks like a washed out version of this, but they definitely look related. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some side-by-side swatches for you. So I've got the Arabesque, the 4 of the Arabesque on the left, and then I have the 4 Leopard Sun swatches on the right. So those are my thoughts on this quad. Let's go ahead and jump into the demo. Okay, I'm gonna start with my Sonia G Worker 1 brush. I'm gonna go into this light satin shade here, and just apply this to the inner portion of my lid and over the center. And then I'm going to take the same brush and go into the darker satin shade and start on the outer corner of my eye and blend that in and blend it into that lighter shade. All right, so I've got the 2 satin shades down. I feel like this is actually a pretty decent look all by itself. You can add some eyeliner, mascara, of course, and be done. But we have these 2 other toppers here. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this shade over the cream satin shade that I have on the inner portion of my lid. You can definitely use your finger. I feel like whenever I try and get shadow like right into this inner corner here, I just get it like all over. So I'm gonna use my Sonia G Builder 1 brush, and I'm just going to shimmy the brush back and forth. That's really the best way to pick up topper shades like this one. And I'm going to press it onto the lid. So hopefully you guys can see the lighting. It's always hard with lighting, with studio lighting, but hopefully you guys can see like that glint that topper gives that cream shade. So this is without and this is with. And I did experience a little bit of fallout with that topper shade, just so you know. And I was kind of pressing the shadow in. I was being very, very careful, but I still got a little bit. And then next I'm gonna apply the gold topper shade on top of the darker brown satin color. And this time I'm gonna use my finger because I'm working in a larger area. I don't feel like I'm gonna get it everywhere. I may still, but I don't think I'm gonna get it everywhere. And then I'm going to take my Esom T05 brush and go into this dark brown shade and line my eyes with this. All right, that's it for this eyeshadow quad. I do just want to point out that I did experience a bit more fallout with that gold topper shade when I applied it with my finger. Kind of see more of that than I did when I used my brush, which is actually like the opposite experience I feel like when I use those kinds of shades. Usually I feel like I get more fallout when I use a brush versus my finger, but not this time, or maybe it's the shade. But anyway, I did get a little bit more fallout with that gold shade. I kind of see it along my cheekbone on the side of my nose and stuff. And when I used that red one, it was very, very minimal. All right, so that's it for this eyeshadow quad. I'm gonna finish up my makeup look and I'll be right back. All right, guys, here is my finished look. I'll have all the details down below in my description box if you're interested. And I hope you've been enjoying my reviews of the new Tom Ford quads. I will definitely be doing a wrap-up video soon. And thank you so much for watching. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.